Hi, everyone. This is Ed Amoroso from Tag Cyber, and I'm here with my friend Prashant Gandhi, who is the AVP of Product Management at Arista Networks. Prashant, welcome. Nice to see you.
It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm very excited.
Great, great. Prashant, before we get into our discussion of network security and visibility in particular, I know that's a topic that you spend a lot of time thinking about in your work. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What are some of the highlights of your career?
Yeah, absolutely. I started my career as a faculty member in electrical and computer engineering at Villanova University, and then over the years moved into industry. I've been in networking for the past 20 years, networking and security. I founded a company in data center security in the days when deperimeterization was a new term 10 plus years ago, and which was acquired, and then joined Big Switch Network some time back, and a couple of years ago it got acquired at Arista. At Big Switch, we focused on software-defined visibility to deliver, on-demand network traffic to security tools and network operations tools. And that product is now called Dynamic Monitoring Fabric, which I continue to manage from product management perspective.
Well, that's wonderful. It's nice to see a combination of academia and practical. I also have an academic connection myself, so I have a lot of respect for that. Now, one of the big issues in network security is establishing visibility. I was wondering if you could just share a little bit about how one goes about doing this. Is it probes? Is it administrative tools? What's the right way, or what's the right philosophy for an enterprise to make sure they have the right visibility?
Yeah, no, that's a very important topic, because without visibility, you can't really do security. And if you want to do pervasive security, you got to have pervasive visibility. And so the necessary component is visibility, and how do you establish that? There are a couple of ways to do that, really. One, you can go directly to the devices. Different vendors have different ways of accessing it. There are standard protocols out there, such as an SNMP, or you can invoke APIs on the network operating system and obtain the information related to the network. That's sort of one way. Another more relevant way, especially for threat detection tools like intrusion detection, DDoS, and more recently network detection and response, is to actually be able to have access to the network data, essentially network traffic. And network, as we know, is the lifeline for application communication, user traffic, devices traffic, any conversation, app to app, user to user, user to app. And that conversation has meaningful implications and information related to security. And so having access to that data becomes very important. And it's the interesting data. There's a lot of data on the network, as you know. Networks, especially in the data center, related to applications. There's north-south traffic, but more and more east-west traffic is becoming very relevant from threat detection and threat hunting perspective. And that is, now 3, 4, 5x more than the north-south traffic. So there's abundance of traffic, and or I should say, there's data deluge. And the question is, how can we access interesting data, interesting packets, and interesting flows that are interesting to security or threat hunting.
Is it also an aggregation problem, though? Like, if I'm pulling from multiple places, how do I put the pieces of the puzzle together typically?
That's been the major challenge, has been the major challenge. And that's why oftentimes security has been focused at the edges, at the north-south boundary, at the perimeter, for example. But more and more, what is happening is that customers are now really demanding that in this world of zero trust security, how do I build this modern security infrastructure? And for that, you need to build a modern visibility infrastructure. And that requires an ability to tap or span traffic at various places in the network, including east-west traffic, and be able to aggregate. And this essentially network becomes a broker for packets. And there's a term or category defined for this class of products. It's called network packet broker, which is a network to aggregate tap and span traffic, and then through policies deliver it to the right tool, to, for example, the network detection and response tools. And we at Arista have a modern NPB, network packet broker, called the Nand monitoring fabric, which is really software driven, using software defined networking technologies to be able to aggregate very large number. This is now we are talking, hundreds, thousands of links in the data center. These are at very high speed. They can be, no longer 10 gig, but 25 gig, 40 gig, 100 gig, and moving. I expect in the next couple of years, 400 gig links to be aggregated. So the network packet broker system has to be cost effective, simple to operate, and scale out. Properties of the network, modern network that we are demanding today, also need to be extended to the visibility fabric, the observability fabric.
I think another big advantage of the traffic collection versus pulling from devices, performance overhead, right? When you do pull, I remember we used to turn on NetFlow on Cisco routers and stuff, and you'd see they always say you didn't see a performance hit, but you did. So I would imagine that performance is probably also a question you probably get from customers all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. There is a performance issue, as you pointed out, and there is a fidelity issue in terms of the information, granularity that you're getting. Certainly, flows are very important, and folks oftentimes don't like to turn on NetFlow. What we have seen is, modern ASICs are delivering the standards-based S-flow, so that's one mechanism to collect. But we also have, right in the network packet broker, ability to generate flows, IPFix and S-flow traffic. And so customers who are reluctant for their high-value network assets, reluctant to enable, NetFlow, we can have auxiliary systems, the network packet broker, to do that job for them. So you can still get the full security that you need through flow analytics without really impacting the network devices themselves.
It's impossible to talk about visibility in a network security context without bringing up encryption. So, when you dip the ladle into the network and everything's encrypted, is it really just a matter of kind of doing the best you can with what information is there? Is that sort of state of the art at this point?
Well, I mean, even today, large amount of traffic is encrypted, right?
Yeah.
But it is very interesting that security tools have ways to look into the traffic, and there is plenty of information also available, in data that is pre-encrypted, in connections that are taking place between endpoints, between applications, between users, and the associated metadata that is exchanged before the actual packet data is encrypted. So there are both ways to do that, but to be able to get security from a visibility fabric, it really doesn't matter. We can have MACsec encrypted data, we can have SSL or TLS encrypted data, but we are able to deliver that to the security tools that are able to look at the threat hunting and detection through those encrypted traffic.
Well, this information on visibility is useful because I'm guessing that for a very large percentage of your customers, that's probably the primary goal, right? To just establish that foundational understanding of context and a visibility, probably breathes life into all the other tools that you're using in the SOC or in the NOC. So it's great to learn so much about visibility. Are you enjoying working at Arista?
Absolutely. I mean, Arista, I've enjoyed startup environments, and Arista, prides itself to be a big startup, and we continue to have that startup culture of getting things done fast without a lot of overhead, and so that has been a great experience. And the Arista family is it's a great culture to work in. So absolutely, it's
a
been a blast.
lot of overhead is like a network metaphor. So that's a Prashant, it's a delight to chat with you. I appreciate you making some time for us today, and keep up the good work over there.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
And thanks everyone for watching.